Now I know what you're thinking. Have I clicked the wrong video? This looks very much like the start of the last Plutonia video. But if you're observant, you'll see a couple of differences. First, we have different starting health and armor. Second, we have the red key. Third, that archvile is dead. And fourth, the streets are littered with the bodies of demons who tried to kill us. Keyword, tried. Oh, and the cyber demon's gone too. These streets may be a lot safer than they were, but all of these extra bodies should warn you that there are still a lot more threats yet to come. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Final Doom, the Plutonia Experiment. And when last we left off, we need to find where this key is used. And to do that, we're going to consult the map and see that we need to go down this very long street to get to the other side of the city. Because the place we need to use it is over here. Specifically, we need to get up to this area. And to do that, we're going to go, I believe, this way. Yes, this way. Because when we got the key and used that switch, this lowered, allowing us to get to here and grab these chain guns. Because we can really do with some chain gun ammo. And some shotgun ammo too. Now let's jump over to here and find that there are some enemies over here that would like to say hello. And of course, they're chain gunners, because why wouldn't they be chain gunners? Now there were 3 of them. So I'm going to wait for the other 2 to appear. And this is when they wisely decide not to appear. Let's, in the meantime, grab this ammunition here. Maybe I did actually get rid of them. It's very unlikely. Hello? If they're gone or if they're dead, I suppose we'll find out in the future and trigger a trap here, because there's a key. But of course that does more than just reveal some enemies. It also reveals you! Hello, you! You're going to perish right now to the power of the chain gun! Ha ha! Deal with you. And you. And there are some shells here if I want them. I don't really want them. You know what I do want to do, though? Just fire a rocket here. Take care of you. Marvellous. And I want to get this, and note that there is a little alcove over here. I'm going to save, because chances are I'm going to fail this first time round. There's no real consequence for failing, but you never know, I may end up stumbling on a monster. And there we go! First time, Megasphere is ours. Now what we need to do is we need to find the place that this yellow key opens. There is a small building that we need to flip a switch in, and it's not over there. It is actually clearly marked with the need for this key, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. That said, aha! I think this is the place we need to be. So we'll save, open this up, and did you see the Revenant? Because there are 2 of them, and like all Revenants, they are a pain to take care of, and I need to fall back because Revenants! Hello! You're gone! And, ooh, you're gone. Brilliant. What that has done, when I press this, is remember that little room where the rockets were that you could have tried to take cover from a cyber demon in? There was something blocking our way to a key card. It's now open. I'm gonna grab these, grab that, and now we need to find what this opens up. There are no enemies here at all. I'm so happy that there are no enemies here. Also, that, there, can you see in the distance? It's flashing red. That gives you the clue that, hey, maybe the red key is located here. Now, what we need to do is we need to find an area where we can run atop the buildings. And I think it's here. Yes, I think it's here. We need to get onto one of these. Which one do I need to get onto? Is it over here? I think it's over here. Yes. Remember when I said that we couldn't run onto this? We actually have to. I'm no good at it, but we have to do this. Because this is how we are going to get to... If I do it like that... if I do it like that, we can actually get there. Because that is where we need to use the blue key. So, under here... Grab this, and that, That's where the chain gun is, if you need one, by the way, but doesn't involve defeating any enemies. And of course, I fail at the last hurdle. Darn it. It's okay though, we have limitless tries because there are literally no enemies here that can stop us. Yet. I say yet because this is the Plutonia Experiment, and of course there are... Darn it. Of course there are going to be enemies that will appear later once we flip whatever switch is in this room that we're trying to get to. And then Kiko failed to get to the next switch. Oh, I'll succeed eventually. The keyword is eventually. Right, save here. And... ho-ho! We are in. Do you think that there'll be enemies in here? The answer is of course there will be. It's just a question of what enemies. And how dangerous will they be? Hello? There you are! How are you? Just hit you here. Did you hear that? That was the sound of a cacodemon. We haven't really seen many cacodemons in this level. We saw one when we got the yellow key. There are more though. Gonna use this. Gonna use this. That doesn't open. We know there's a supercharge here if we want it. Now let us find all these enemies that we have unleashed upon ourselves. Where are they? And for no particular reason, I'm going to get this ready. Why? Because there might be some pain elementals. Hello? No? There's definitely an area that we've opened up with loads of enemies. I just haven't found it yet. I just haven't found it. Here? I think it's here. This wasn't open before. If the enemies don't want... Oh, there they are! Hello! Just a couple of cacodemons here. And you! Just need to, you know, deal with you first. And then deal with you! Now we can take care of everything else because the pain elementals are gone. Hello! You are gone. You are gone. You're gone. And I think those are some, I must say, of the last enemies that we will encounter in this level. There are going to be a couple more before we're done, though. Right, we want to make our way back to where we were, because we really want the... well, first we want to grab these so that we have full ammunition there. Then we want to go back to the supercharge, because we want that. We also want that as well. We want those rockets. So let's go up here. Go around here. Good thing I noticed them as I was... Hello! Good thing I noticed them while I was walking about. This is the wrong area, but I won't say no to those rockets. I want to go over here, don't I? Yes, I do. Over here instead. And... not that one. I want to go over here, don't I? Eventually, I will find where I need to be. And this is when I completely fail to find where I need to be. It's over there, isn't it? Yes, it is. You know, I was just here. I was literally just here. And then, I forgot how to get to here. But then I remembered. Now over here we go. And I completely failed, because of course I failed. It's okay. Again, there are now no more enemies we need to worry about. We took care of the, we took care of the ambush, but we cannot take care of my clumsiness. My clumsiness knows no bounds! If only there were spikes down there, or lava, the nameless marine would have fallen ages ago. And the demons would have won. Okay, over here. I completely fail again. You know what? We're gonna load that. That is the wrong save, me. That's the right save, right here. Oh, silly me. We are here. Now we're gonna save again. If this is what we have to do to make sure we get here. It is. Clearly. It is. Can I just run from here? Yes, I could have just ran from there all along. Ah well. Let us grab this, because we want this. And now we need to find one particular building. There's one building that looks a little different from the others. There is a general, sort of beigey colour scheme to all the buildings, with the exception of one, which I'm actually running right towards, which is this one. This one has now opened up. This leads to the exit. One problem, though. One problem. The Archviles. There are 3 of them. And we need to be very careful when taking them out, because you don't want to fall. The second Archvile is here. Just, wait for you to attack me. If you ever feel like attacking me. There's one over there, too. Move a bit closer. There we go. That got your attention. And I want your attention, because that means you're easier to defeat. Now, the last one. You're right there. Unfortunately, you, really don't have a good line of fire on me. You're only really, dangerous if I decide to rush out blindly. And you're gone as well. This is the way out of this level, so let's go. And they lower. And with that, the Odyssey of Noises is done. 100% kills, 100% items, half of the secrets. Not bad. The Doom 2 par time for this level, 5 minutes. My par time, oh dear, my par time for this level. This level is always a long effort for me. And mine doesn't show, because 30 minutes and counting, 36, 37, 38, 40 minutes. 44 minutes and 9 seconds, but here we are, at the gateway. We're here at the gateway. This level is hard, and the game doesn't start you with as many goodies as it did on the final level of Doom 2. You get a backpack, you get some shotgun ammo, you get a rocket launcher, the super shotgun, you get a megasphere, that's quite nice. And down here, the game tells you to go that way, but there is a goodie here, in the form of the BFG 9000, and there are 2 barons that guard it. There's also some things here. I think this is so multiple players can start this level off. Now, this is something that's going to take a fair few attempts, because I think this enemy, the Gatekeeper, it is an Icon of Sin. It functions exactly the same as the Icon of Sin from Doom 2. Problem is, it's in a bit of a trickier situation. You don't have as much cover. We do need to land some rockets. I'm also saving way too many times. So let's go. If I can actually run in. Okay. Not there yet, though. There's still a little more we have to do. What enemies are in here? Archviles! And there was some infighting going on there. I don't know who the infighting was between, but I'm not going to say no to the ammunition that we get here. Also, those hurt us. Now, what foes are in here? Oh! What foes would be in here? Chain gunners. Because of course. Also, does this hurt me? No, this does not hurt me. That is good. I can quite safely be there. There's a chain gunner there. Deal with you. There's a chain gunner there. Deal with you. And a chain gunner there. Deal with you. And that lowers things. Which means we're in a bit of bother. We're in a bit of bother now. Oh, look! Did you hear that? That's the sound of a cyber demon. Also, we need to be quite quick here, because the Icon of Sin is already at work. Let's deal with you. Best we can. We're also very low on health already. Need to get into there. This is really going to be tricky. I'm probably going to have to spend a few attempts doing this. Alright, you're gone, but I'm gone. Okay. So let's just fire immediately here. Like that. And immediately perish. Oh, darn it. This was always going to be tricky. Yep, the icon of sin is speaking to me here. It's, not happy, shall we say. Deal with you two. And nearly die. Okay. Yeah, this is, not easy, because we have to deal with that before we can even think about, hello. Before we can even think about, getting to the, yeah, that's, darn it, that's a problem. That's a problem. I can do this. I can do this. Some infighting would really help me out here. So a BFG there. A BFG here. Did that actually deal with that Revenant? No! Revenant actually survived a BFG blast. Well, Revenant's gone now. Going to save. Next, need to get a few attacks off there. Deal with you as best we can. And die. Darn it. This is just a really, really, really brutal area, because there's so many foes you have to deal with immediately, including this Baron. The Baron is a massive problem. We're at 4% health, by the way. 4%. Still active, are you? Yes, you are. We could go down to this area. Okay. And of course, as soon as I deal with the Baron, that happens. Also, every single little attack here does weaken the Arachnotrons a little bit. Also, I am getting hit by an Arachnotron behind me. That is unfortunate. Could you not do that? That would be marvellous. Okay, a little bit of health here. Let's try and take care of you now. Fortunately, there is a little bit of infighting that can be okay. Cyber Demon's gone. Now we save. Now we look to deal with this. Also, just deal with you because we can. That does what it normally does, which is lowers this. Did you get a good shot off? Like, that's not a good shot. That's not a good shot at all. That's going to make it rise up. Then we need to make it lower down again. Need to get a good shot. That a good one? That was a good shot. Also, that's one more Megasphere. A lot of Megaspheres in this here, but now that we've actually dealt with the Cyber Demon, most of the danger is gone, because all we need to do now is get a few rockets here. And that's not a good rocket. The infighting is going to be quite intense. Just need to occasionally fire a few things here, like that. And fire. Nope, a little too low there. Alright, Kiko. Just gotta keep trying. We've got lots of health. Don't have so much, That actually missed. That is quite unfortunate, but it missed. That did nothing. Right. Fire. Aha! We did it! It took a lot of attempts and many more tries to get that Cyber Demon beforehand, but 194% kills, 25% items, and 0% secrets, and I almost made the par time! After, of course, some loading and trial and error, but that is just a much, much trickier end of the game, because the Icon of Sin, fair enough, there's a large area where lots of enemies can get you, and if there are Archviles there, you're in serious bother, but the enemies that are there with the Gatekeeper are extreme. Loads of Revenants, the Cyber Demon, the Lost Souls, The Lost Souls are actually a huge problem because they stop you from getting the Cyber Demon right away. There's that tiny barrier. But with our success, it's time for the ending. The Gatekeeper's evil face is splattered all over the place. As its tattered corpse collapses, an inverted gate forms and sucks down the shards of the last prototype accelerator, not to mention the few remaining demons. You're done. Hell has gone back to pounding bad dead folks instead of good live ones. Remember to tell your grandkids to put a rocket launcher in your coffin. If you go to hell when you die, you'll need it for some final cleaning up. And with that, the game is done. It goes to the thing that was at the end of Doom 2, which is the credit call for the enemies. First, we have a zombie man. There really weren't many of you at all. Oh, do I miss the fact that there weren't many of you, but you were there still. The shotgun guy, a fair amount of these, very dangerous, always been a threat. Absolutely loads of heavy weapon dude though, you were all over the place in really, really tricky locales, that you were. You were a worthy foe, and you defeated me many times, but ultimately, you failed. Then there's the imp. Not many imps either compared to other foes. I'm pretty sure there were probably more revenants than there were imps, but either way, always a threat you need to not underestimate. Then there's the demon, the pinky demon. A fair few of you. You're pretty much a staple of everywhere. Gotta be careful of you. The fact that you only have a melee attack will sometimes make people lower their guard. Never do that. The Lost Soul. I'm not going to say anything about you at all because you are part of my least favourite enemy. And then there's the Cacodemon. There were lots of Cacodemons. Cacodemons are always a persistent threat, especially because they can fly. And now you're gone. Then there's the Hell Knight. I really like the Hell Knight. The Hell Knight is a good middle ground between the Imps and the Barons of Hell. But there weren't too many of them. There were a fair few more of you, though, I think. I think there were more Barons than there were Hell Knights. Don't quote me on that, though. Always been a staple, tough enemy, but we dealt with them. Then the Arachnotron. Actually, a fair few Arachnotrons in this game. And I'm glad for that. The Arachnotron never really got showed enough love in Doom 2. Oh, it's you! Goodbye, you. And the Revenant! Along with the heavy weapon dude that I keep calling the chain gun zombie, you were ridiculously prevalent everywhere. All over the place you were, and I'm glad to see you gone. Mancubus? There were some of you. I mean, there was one on the first level, as well as lots of Revenants. Difficult, but slow. Oh, hi, you. Somebody did say, as I've said before, that there were more Archviles in this WoD on Ultraviolence than there are Pistol Zombies, and your presence in most levels made them far, far trickier than they would otherwise have been. You are a truly dangerous adversary. Your only weakness is that you can't bring back Spider Mastermind, Cyber Demons, and yourself, because my, if you could bring back yourself. Glad to see you gone. There were even a few Spider Masterminds in this one, scattered all over the place. Never as dangerous, however, as the next one, the Cyber Demon. And there were a lot of you. Oh, there were a lot of you. And in the secret levels, there were loads of you. Always dangerous, but not as dangerous as our hero, the Nameless Marine. And with that, folks, Earth is saved. The final accelerator is gone, the portal is closed, and the demons are no more. Humanity can now spend time recovering. And when the Nameless Marine finally goes, he's gonna take care of a few things by himself. And with that, the Plutonia Experiment is over. And with that, I've actually played all 4 of the core original Doom games. The only thing that I haven't yet played is the master levels for Doom 2. And what do I think about the Plutonia Experiment? This game is ridiculously hard on ultraviolence. It is on another level compared to all the other things that I have done Doom-wise. Doom 1, ultraviolence, has its challenge, but there are less enemy types, and the FPS genre was only really starting to pick up steam, so a lot of the tricks that are in this game aren't a thing. Doom 2, loads more enemies, loads more level variety, much bigger game, wonderful game, great balance and difficulty, and then there's Evilution, which, much like Doom 2, has a rather steady difficulty curve, though it does have its very tricky points. And then there's Plutonia, that just goes, you played a lot of Doom? Well, what happens on level 1? We're just going to kick you down immediately and keep you stomped down, because this game doesn't have you hit the ground running, it has you hit the ground sprinting away from a supernova. But once you can just keep ahead of it, when you actually get your momentum, the game gets into a sort of rhythm. Admittedly, it's a very nasty rhythm with loads and loads of really tricky enemies and sneaky things that aren't in other WODs, like invisible platforms and so many little traps that the other games didn't have. So many traps, and so many revenants and heavy weapons dudes. But once you get into that rhythm, the fun of Doom returns, because the beginning is very tricky and it can drag down the enjoyment, but once you get into your stride, it's the same wonderful Doom fun that I have come to love over the years, and I really enjoyed playing this game, really enjoyed being challenged by all of the sneaky traps that this game throws at you, and all the little things that force you to learn new tricks. I didn't know about the accuracy of the chain gun up until this point, and I've learned something, and going forward, I fear that a lot of the earlier entries in the series will be a fair bit easier because of that, but you're always learning something, and I've just noticed that there's an obvious tiling effect with the green slime behind me, and now you can't unsee it. As for the series in general, what became of it, there were the master levels of Doom 2, and then there was Doom 64, and then Doom 3, and then Doom 2016, which I really enjoyed. I have no experience personally with either Doom 64 or the master levels of Doom 2, which is something I mentioned previously here, and then there is Doom 3, which I do have a lot of experience with and may someday return to. But for now, I think it's time to give the Nameless Marine the rest that he deserves, because did he fight hard to save humanity, and he did it! And his armour isn't even bloodied or anything. He can get full trade-in value on that. Oh, who are we kidding? That's like the 500th suit of armour that he's wearing. The original one is nothing more than some tattered remnants found on level 1. And so, with that, Final Doom, the Plutonia Experiment is done. A very hard game, a ridiculously hard game. If you're not very experienced with Doom, I would not recommend you dive into this one until you're more familiar with how the game works, how the engine works, and how the enemies function. Because if you dive into the Plutonia Experiment as your first game in the series, you're not going to have fun. You need to have that foundation of skill before you try this one. Even on I'm Too Young to Die, it's still quite hard. And ultraviolence? Well, you've seen. That final level was brutal. All the other levels before it were also quite brutal, but we eventually did it. We failed a lot, but we did it. And so, when we come back, folks, something completely different, because I don't think we'll be doing another first-person shooter anytime soon. We'll be playing something else. What that something will be remains to be seen, but I guarantee to you, it's going to have far less heavy weapon dudes and revenants than this game had. Or will it? Yes, it will. Hopefully. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.